Well, good evening. Good evening. It could be morning, afternoon, anywhere around the world. My name is Dr. Anana, and I'm the founder of Blessed Girls Global. And it is an honor to welcome you all to our official kickoff of our 2024 Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Campaign. And this year we are more than just talking, but we are taking decisive action to address one of the most pressing issues of our time, and that prevalence of domestic violence and human trafficking. And of course, with Blessed Girls, that is one of our concerns when we focus on young teens and young women. And so our campaign is about education and empowerment. And so this month we will be focusing on putting out information, raising awareness, and sharing resources, so we can make sure that we are more on the preventive side when it comes to domestic violence and human trafficking amongst our teens. Our campaign really our aim is not only to raise awareness, but to give both our youth and our parents and our community and our tribe, if you will. So if you're a part of the Blessed Girl tribe tonight, we want you to just say hello. Let us know you're here, where you're watching from. I like to give a moment to shout out those that are watching. So type in the comments, hi, I'm here today and I'm watching from whatever state, city, country that you're watching from. We would love to know and recognize you tonight. So this conversation tonight is definitely engaging. So get used to typing using your fingers and letting us know you're here. Let us know what you are discovering, what you're learning as you're on this platform with us tonight. All right, can you do that? Okay, I'm waiting. I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I will be watching. So again, just welcome. And so we really have a focus, right? Not only to raise awareness, but to give both the parents, people, and of course the women, the grandparents, the aunties, the women in our community, and the young men. I say that we want to give you the tools and the resources needed to recognize, prevent, and respond to domestic violence and human trafficking. And so these issues are unfortunately widespread, and they affect far too many people, especially young people in our community. All right. So here's just some reality checks, and I'm sure you stay tuned because we have an amazing guest speaker, and she's going to share tonight as well. But let's start by grounding ourselves in the data. Can we do that? Here are some alarming statistics that highlight the importance of this campaign. Now, we are here based in the United States, in New Jersey, but we also do work in Africa, in Burundi, in Kenya, and South Africa. When I start naming the names, I got to be careful. In Ghana, in South America, in Guyana, right? And so we're in Canada. And so we always take a global approach. But specifically for some of these statistics, we are just speaking about the United States. Understand that 1 in 3 adolescents in the United States, 1 in 3 is a victim of physical, emotional, or verbal abuse from a dating partner. 1 in 3. And so, you all that are here in the United States, dare we not, you know what is on the headlines right now? Everyone's talking about Diddy, right? And but the heart of this all is really dealing with abuse. Right, a lot of us have seen that video with him in a hotel and dragging Cassie. Right, so this is things that is forefront right today in mainstream issues that are affecting our young people and affecting our community, if you will. Right. So 1 in 3 adolescents. And so I like that it wasn't just physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, right, from a dating partner. And that's higher than the rate of other types of violence. Right. And then nearly 1.5 million high school students nationwide experience physical abuse from a dating partner in 1 year. 1.5 million high school students. Now, human trafficking is a growing concern for our youth, with 1 in 7 victims of human trafficking in 2023 being minors. Teens are vulnerable due to their use of what? Social media and the internet with traffickers, and they are often exploited. right? So these numbers are sobering. I'm grateful that we have a speaker that's going to really give you some more information and statistics as well. But they reflect not only the tip of the iceberg, but many incidents that go unreported due to fear, stigma, and lack of awareness. And so our mission in Blessed Girls, and of course our partnership, I believe I think it's been about 6 years now, our partnership with Ladies in Waiting International Wives. And it has been to raise awareness of the emotional and the silent abuses that often go unnoticed. And together with our partnership with Ladies in Waiting Wives, we have shed light on the negative repercussions that these abuses, and they lack the understanding and the response that we have in our society. So we're grateful for to be kicking off October. We were very intentional to try to make sure we got this session in in the first week of October. And so the campaign is going to focus on educating and empowering our teens, our parents, everyone in our community, because we believe that through increased awareness and education, we can significantly reduce the incidences and prevent these situations from escalating to physical abuse. So we have our workshops, trainings throughout the campaign, community outreach, which is, of course, our collaboration with Ladies in Waiting. And we're looking forward to collaborating with schools, other faith-based organizations, and youth groups as we engage our young people, our parents, and just the community in large to help them identify red flags and know how to talk to their teens, know how to talk to their community regarding these issues. So I'm thrilled tonight to announce that we have continued our collaboration with Ladies in Waiting International Wives. And let me just tell you a little bit about the organization. And then tonight we have the privilege to hear from the amazing founder and the CEO of the organization. And so since 2005, this remarkable organization has worked alongside many throughout the country to help raise awareness and educate communities about domestic violence. And together, we've helped countless women and families by shining a light on the often silent abuses that devastate lives in our community. See, Ladies in Waiting International Wives is committed to this partnership and to ensuring that no one suffering from abuse feels alone. Their work, it focuses on empowering women and families, offering emotional and spiritual support, and standing as advocates for those who cannot advocate for themselves. And tonight, I am so excited and really just honored to have the CEO and the founder of Ladies in Waiting International Wives. She is not just a beautiful woman, sister, mother. She's an author, a co-author of A Mother's Love, Letters to Our Sons. She is a founder, minister, but just an amazing woman and an inspiration to me myself. And so I am so grateful. Let me see if I can bring her up. I want to make sure she's here. Hold on. I'm controlling. I am controlling. Welcome, Miss Bonnie Allen Nadella. How are you?
I am fine. I am fine and so very blessed to be here with you on tonight. Praise the Lord. And
Amen.
I'm grateful. We have been working together with Anana for like she said, over 6 years. It's funny, we were just talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's been like 3 years. And then we started looking back, we're like, wait a minute, it's been 6 years. So we are so grateful for this collaboration that the Lord has put together and all of the things that we've been able to do. And as Dr. Anana has mentioned, we do this project every year. We got Ladies in Waiting International Wives, and that stands for Women in Victory Over Emotional Suffering. When we began our organization in 2005, our focus was more on just loving on women, bringing them in. We would have a God loves his daughters conference every year, and we would just bring them in and love on them. And as we continued, the Lord blessed us to come up with some more projects to do. And one of those, which is our signature project now, is Hooked Up and Knit Together in Love. And this is a project that we do every year. We usually begin knitting around August, July, depends, usually July though, is the earliest that we will begin. And we will knit and crochet, hand knit and hand crochet scarves for women who find themselves in domestic shelters over the winter months. Um, One of the things that we realize is that when women are in domestic shelters, they feel very alone. They feel as though they are not seen. They are silently suffering and they feel abandoned. So we are sending them these scarves as a hug, a warm hug to let them know that they're not forgotten, that they're not alone, and they're not forsaken. Because as you know, God never leaves or forsakes us, but He also sends people to help us. And so that is how we got started with the project. We send a box of scarves to every state in the United States of America and whatever global country that we can get one sent to that year, because we have to be cleared. So when we're cleared to, we send out a box there as well. And I just want at this time to just take this opportunity to thank some of our dedicated volunteers who have consistently supported us over the years. Their contributions are appreciated and bring joy and comfort to us and all of the women. It's always a joy to get a letter from one of the shelters that we've sent a box of scarves to and hear them say how the women were so touched that someone took the time to knit or crochet a scarf for them. So when we have people to knit or crochet a scarf, we ask that you pray over it, that you put, all your effort in it. Don't even worry about whether it's too fat or short or small. The love that is felt when a woman receives this scarf after knowing that you've taken your time and put your energy and your effort into it is priceless. So I just want to shout out Robin Key, Dorothy Board, Churchill McKinney, Nilka Rodriguez, Jean Ray Barber, Antoine Allen, and I think there's one more person that I'm missing that have consistently knitted and or crocheted. It's B Jackson. That's who it is, Beatrice Jackson, who have consistently knitted and crocheted a scarf for us since we started this project in 2006. And so I just want to give them a heartfelt thank you. I also want to invite and say thank you for Nilka and Jean Ray being here. They are board members. Jean Ray is the global director, and Nilka Rodriguez is our chaplain. So I just am very thankful for them for joining with us tonight. So if you have never had opportunity to participate in our knitting project, it's very simple. We just we have yarn, we have needles, we have crochet and hooks. If you should need to get those from us, just speak to one of you can speak to Anana, or you can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram or our website, and we will be able to hook up with you to make sure you get the yarn or the needles or whatever it is that you need. We also accept donation if you want to send in to help with the mailing costs. You may also help in that way if you don't want to knit or crochet. But it is very, very touching to the women. It is very, very fulfilling for you, because knitting is actually good for the soul. It's very good for you. Crocheting is good for you. It helps you to think. It helps you to work out situations as you're knitting and crocheting. If it's very tight, you know that you got something that you're working through. If it's very loose, you know that you need to focus more. There are things that occur in the brain while you're doing this project that will also help you as a person. So we just ask that anybody who wants to join in with us would just hit us up, DM us, or reach out to Dr. Anana. I just want to talk a little bit about domestic violence and the awareness that we're trying to raise. Part of our mission is to raise awareness about emotional abuse, because that's like silent, it's unseen, and people don't recognize it right away. They don't know that it's going on in their lives. And emotional abuse affects everything that you do. uh, Psychological abuse, emotional abuse, all of those usually proceed physical abuse. This is part of the grooming process. And as Dr. Anana mentioned, we have a very, very famous um, situation going on here. It's huge. Everybody sees it. And now we are getting a lot more attention uh, shown on domestic violence. And the awareness is heightened because there's somebody famous involved. But this is going on whether you're famous or not. There are women who are not famous that are suffering. And so we as their sisters and sometimes brothers, because men do get involved as well, we have a mandate by God to just be kind to one another, to love one another, to see your sister in need and to reach out. So we like to raise awareness, because education, as Dr. Anana also mentioned, education and awareness is key for us to stop things. Things that are done in the dark cannot be exposed unless there's light that is shown on them. So this light that we shine on these situations are to raise awareness, and so that when you see a sister in need, you will, kind of not just ignore it or act like, oh, well, that's not really happening, and really, start to find a way to try to get to that person and offer them some help. So I just want to give a few statistics. About 41% of women and 26% of men have experienced contact, sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. Now, this is now 2023 to 2024. That's the statistics right now. Okay, so over 61 million women and 53 million men have experienced psychological aggression by an intimate partner in their lifetime. So this is happening all around us. It could be your next door neighbor, it could be your coworker, it could be your friend that you see every single day. It could be anyone that is experiencing this. And so we need to be aware that this is happening, and look for some keys and some ways that we can help out. Okay, approximately 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience physical violence by an intimate partner. Now, this is very interesting, because one of the things with this Diddy situation, as Dr. Anana brought up, is that there's not just women being abused in these situations, there are also men being abused. And we as women, we also have to look out for our menfolk as well, because it's in our young men that we're raising, and our sons, because it's not just women that are being abused emotionally and mentally and physically, it's also men. So this is something that we need to be aware of. One of the things, as we have been working with women through these years, that we have noted is that some things we can avoid if we are aware. So there is a story in the Bible about Nabal and Abigail. And there was the situation where David, who was the king, came, and he and his men took care of the land while Nabal and Abigail were away. Well, Nabal was away. And so they took care of the land and did all these things they were supposed to do, make sure nobody stole his sheep and all of that. So when he returned from wherever he was supposed to, according to custom, he was supposed to give them money and food and all the stuff that they need to continue their journey. And he didn't. He said, no, I'm not going to give you that. I didn't ask you to do that. You did that, and I'm not going to do it. So he didn't do it. And David was preparing to kill the whole, burn down the house, kill everybody inside. And Abigail, the wise wife, went outside and said to David, don't do this. I know he's a fool, and I know he's doing this, and but don't do it. Don't kill him, because then you will have blood on your hands. You'll be doing the wrong thing. So she goes back in the house. Nabal is drunk. She does not deal with him while he's drunk. I'm going to say that again. She does not deal with him while he is drunk. She waits, says nothing to him. During the night, he has a stroke or something. He wakes up, or I don't know if he has the stroke right then, but he's in bed. So when he wakes up, she tells him what he did, and she tells him, I had to tell David not to kill us and blah, 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 but this is what you did. But she did not confront him with this information until after he awakened and was not drunk. So some things we can keep ourselves from, and of course the Lord eventually, I'll just put that part out there. The Lord, intervenes. He has a stroke. He dies, and then she is taken by David and taken care of. But none of her household was touched by David killing them, because she was a wise woman that waited and dealt with this man later and dealt with the situation. Sometimes we have to deal with the situation, whatever that situation is, and then we can deal with the person who is the perpetrator of the situation. If you deal with some things like a drunk person, there is no reasoning with a drunk person. So we have to be careful about the situations that we put ourselves in as well. So that's some of the things that we found as we have been going along. There are some things that you can take yourself out of. There are some times when you need to get out of an abusive situation. You cannot tell anybody what you're doing. There are times when you have to do it quietly, and every abusive situation does not have to end with never seeing the person again. That's between God and counseling and all of this stuff, but safety is first. So you need to make sure that you get yourself into a place of safety, and that sometimes requires you to be silent in what you're doing. All right. Between 30 and 40% of Americans are impacted by sexual abuse, and that's just another whole issue. Physical violence or stalking by an intimate partner throughout their lifetimes also permeate. So, with October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we like to bring up all of these issues, and we want to talk about it some. And one of the things that we always like to shine light on is the why. Why didn't you just leave? Now, we have seen a young lady dragged down the hall and beat, and all of that on the video that was shown. And just like I said, these things happen every day. Why didn't you leave? Well, fear is a very big part of why people don't just leave. And as we said before, safety. You cannot always leave immediately either. How many times have you read the headlines lately, or online, because we don't really have newspapers now, but online, how many headlines have you seen? Someone killed by their mate. They were trying to leave, and he killed them and the children, and and the dog. Everybody's gone. So we have to be careful about how we approach people who are going through these very sensitive situations. We cannot just tell people you need to just leave, because they do need to leave, but they have to plan their exit. So you have to really think about that when you know that someone is in a serious situation, or if you are in a serious situation, plan your exit. It is very, very important that you have a plan of escape. And the Bible says that the Lord will always make a way of escape. So we need to pray to Him, get some direction, talk to people, and find a way of escape. Another reason why people don't leave is shame. There's a lot of shame attached to being abused. And emotional abuse is the beginning, where you have to be broken down. They break you down emotionally, psychologically, mentally. You're broken down. So when you're broken down, it's very difficult for you to leave. And it's also very difficult for you to feel good enough about yourself to think that you are worthy of leaving. Like, maybe it is all my fault, because that's what you have been told. So this is one of the things that we find people have had a lot of problems with, is the shame of it all. and not wanting to tell anyone and not wanting anyone to know and to keep it secret. And as long as it is a secret, it cannot be dealt with. So, and we understand though, and you should understand that when the air hits and when the light shines, it's going to be exposed. And are you ready for what exposure brings? So that is another concern, is what will exposure bring? And a lot of this also has to do with financial security for the family. So if you expose this situation, now what will I do financially? Because this person is the person that's bringing in all the money. And a lot of times that is part of the emotional abuse. You're not bringing in anything. I'm the one that's in charge. I'm the one that's taking care of everything. So you need to be quiet and just let me do whatever it is I do. Well, that is also a major concern for women and men, if it's the other way around, because you want your children to be secure and safe, and you want them to be stable. And so there is an instability that's going to come with exposure. So these are things that when someone that's going through something, you see it, that you have to take into consideration when you're talking to them, because there is a lot that goes along with leaving. It's just not just picking up and getting safe. It's also all of these concerns. And that's why there's a plan that is needed before you leave. Another thing that we need to consider also, which we don't hear a lot about anymore, is called battered wife syndrome. Now, back when we started the organization, that was something that we knew of right away, but I haven't seen that like thrown around like it used to be so much. They're now just calling it, battered person syndrome or PTSD or PSTD. But battered woman syndrome or person syndrome can be the product of long-term domestic abuse. So now if you've been under this for a long, long time and you've been treated this way, you've been talked to this way, you've been, you've become accustomed to it. So you don't even know that you may not recognize that you're in it. You may not recognize that you're being abused. You may not recognize any of that because again, you got this financial thing going on, you got children, you got this and that. So you're not aware. So this is called post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. It's a subcategory of this battered wife syndrome. And people living with this syndrome may feel helpless. They believe that they deserve the abuse. They can't get away from it. In many cases, this is why people don't report their abuse to police or loved ones. And because these are always very unique circumstances that cause people to be in these situations, and it's different for every person about how it looks on you. You can find yourself in this situation and not really know that you're in it. So there are four stages of battered woman syndrome or wife syndrome or battered person syndrome. Denial is the first thing, and the person is unable to accept that they're being abused. You don't want to hear that. Oh, he doesn't mean it. It's just this is the way we talk to each other or whatever. It's just this once. He's not going to do that again or whatever. It's denial is the first thing. The second thing is guilt. The person believes that they caused the abuse because you're told that you made me do this to you. I didn't want to do this. You made me do it, and then you start thinking about, oh, well, maybe, if I would have done this, I would have done that. He wouldn't have felt like that. And that wouldn't have happened and blah, 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 blah. So now you got guilt. Enlightenment is the third phase. And this is the phase when the person begins to realize that they don't deserve the abuse. And they begin to acknowledge that their partner has an abusive personality. And this usually happens because of education or people saying things, little things, educating the person, taking them to another environment so that they can see other people, just different things that you can do to help them see on their own that this is not something that they deserve. And of course, if you have a Christian relationship with them, you can just give them scriptures to remind them that they are more than a conqueror, that they don't deserve abuse, that they are, who they are in Christ. And, you can give them scriptures. to help build them up without ever saying to them, I think you're in an abusive situation. You can just give them scriptures, you can give them hints, breadcrumbs to bring them to a place where they can come to you and say, I think that there's a situation, I think that there's a problem. The fourth, uh, the fourth one is responsibility. The person then begins to accept the responsibility that they are just as responsible as the abuser for where they are. They need to figure out what they need to do for themselves. And in this situation, once you become responsible and you say, okay, this person has an issue and I'm not supposed to be in this kind of situation, but I'm also responsible because I'm here. You know, I'm still in the situation. So what you have to realize when you get to that point is that there is no one that you can change but you. You cannot change another person. So when we get our little boys, when we give birth, us boy mothers, this is our time. This is the only time that we get to change a man, right? When they are our little boys and we're raising them up. But no one can change another person. You can only change you. So therefore, when you get to this place of responsibility and understanding, you now have to work on what can I do to change this situation and change me. And that doesn't mean that you say, oh, well, I'll just be quiet now. No, I don't mean that kind of change. You have to figure out, how am I going to change my situation, either get myself out of here or change the way things are happening in here through me. Okay. So we, at that point, we have to look at who we are. Who are we trying to be? What are our children looking at? Is, you know, you start weighing the pros and cons and you start seeing how best to get out of here. That's when we step in, because now we have, now that you're ready to do something, there are phone numbers that we will give you shortly, because I got to find it. There is a domestic violence hotline that if you think that you're in immediate danger, that you, okay, I realize that I need to get out of here and I need to get out right now, then you would need to call that number. Uh, there are also shelters in every state. And interestingly enough, President Biden extended the Violent Women's Act and gave about $60 million more to that fund to make sure that there are shelters and ways that we can help people. And there are some very good shelters, some of which we partner with our Hooked Up in It Together in Love project. We actually interviewed, I think, about 4 of them last year, and hopefully we'll get to interview some more of them just so that you can see. Now, these shelters are very private. They're very clean. You know, they don't expose where they're located. So that's why we have to get permission when we're sending out the boxes and all that. They don't give out your information. They keep you very safe. And they educate you while you're there, because again, when you're in an emotionally abusive situation, when you come out, at first you may feel very elated, you know, oh, I'm free, I'm out of here. But now you need to be built up. So that is one of our other projects that we're doing, is our Finding Your Ingenuity podcast that we're working on. We're still in development. We did like 10, I think, before, and now we're developing, and we'll do some more as we go along. But to help you to just get to another place, because you're going to deal with a lot of emotions as you're coming out of this situation. So this is a silent part. These are the parts that people don't see. What people see is when you get beat down, like what we saw, you know, and there's visible bruises, but there is also very visible bruising internally that's going on when you're emotionally and you're mentally abused. Because as the Bible says, that the man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if you're thinking that you are not worthy of being treated well, then you will always feel that you should be abused. So therefore, you have to renew your mind. So we will help you with that transformational process as we do our Finding Your Ingenuity. And again, this is why when we send out these scarves, it is so important, because when you're in that situation, you're in a domestic shelter now, you have left, you have gone through these 4 steps, you have gotten yourself to a new place now, and you are now sitting in there. You feel now, you feel elated. Okay, I got out. But now you got all of these things that you're going to have to deal with. So you're going to now need some encouragement. And so that is what our scars do. They are an encouragement. They are an empowering mechanism to let a woman know that you are not alone. We are with you. We are praying with you. We are standing with you. We are here to give you information if you need it. We will help you get to that next step. And so that is just very, very key, because we have had women come back and let us know, yeah, this was something that was really, really awesome for us. And also for the shelters to reach back out to us and say, the brightness, the love, the care, the crying, the just emotion on the women's faces when they receive these scars. It has just been, and that's a little thing. Just think about that. That's a little thing to us, but to someone who's going through that situation, it's a big thing. So those are some of the things that we would like you to think about when you're dealing with people who are in these situations. And some of the ways that you can recognize maybe that someone is going through this is, a lot of times we will make excuses for the person. They're doing these crazy things, and in front of people, there's humiliation, there's all kinds of stuff they do, and you just excuse it and make excuses for it and all of this. You may be in a situation where you need to get some therapy, or you need to start looking at it and saying, okay, maybe I am in an abusive situation. If you can speak to the person, again, we have to be very careful talking to people and telling them, oh, that's stupid that you're in this, because again, it is not that simple. So we just want to encourage, to educate, to bring awareness. And as I said, and as Dr. Anana said, this spotlight on domestic violence that's going on with the whole Diddy situation, and how far reaching it went, and what ages it began from, and all of that. Because another thing is, as we are raising our children, we have to be aware, because again, these people were abused. And as many have said, hurt people hurt people. So we have to make sure that we are catching this stuff. We are aware of what we're saying and how we're treating and what we're doing to our children, what they're out there doing to other people, bullying, and all of that has a hand in this behavior. So we want to make sure that no one is suffering without someone there to help them get through the tunnels of chaos that goes along with this whole emotional, psychological, and mental suffering situation. So we will be knitting, crocheting up until December 15th. At which time we will pack up our boxes and mail them out to all of our different domestic shelters. And all of our contact information is on our Facebook site, because it's a lot to write. I don't think you can get all that in there. I guess I could put it over there in the side. I'll try to put some inside over there. But so we have information there if you would like to participate. And of course, you can also reach out to Dr. Anana, who has all the information too.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Oh my goodness, this was so good. Of course, you give some great information, and really talking about. I love bringing in Nabel and renewing your mind, and that's just important to know in general,
Yes.
right? But really
Yes.
gave some really biblical principles
Yes.
to really,
Yes.
get out of that situation, to
Mhm.
recognize it. And even for us, those that are family members, sisters, talked about that sisterhood is so
Yes.
important, right? To
Yes.
assist in
Yes.
any way that we can. So I'm grateful. I thank you. You shared again such amazing information. I know you had some hotline information you want us to share. Do you want me to type
Yes,
that
I
in
do. Let me see
in
if
the
I have
comments
my
if you have
800 number.
those? Also, I know you have some of your team is here. I don't know if they want to come on and say hello. or they
Yeah,
just
Jean Ray, come on in and say hello. Nilka,
all
if
right,
you're
we'll
here,
bring
come
Jean
in and say
Ray.
hello.
If they want to,
Dorothy.
let me know. We'll have them come say hello. I know I've met and worked with Jean Ray. She's come and helped serve and train our Blessed Girls at different workshops. So I'm grateful for her. But
Yeah.
so those who don't know, this winter project, right, Knitting in Love, is happening. I think you said it ends December 15th.
Yes, we try to have the boxes sealed up and out by
And
December
out.
15th. Yes.
That's right. So for me, y'all know, Blessed Girl, I'm gonna say December 10th because I know how y'all do, and we're not doing that. So I'm gonna make because that means if I have to get them, then I got to get them to you, right? So we're gonna
Yes.
say
Let me get
December
the
10th
number.
for Blessed Girls, right? So this is their annual winter project, and it's a warm hug for women in shelters. And so one of the most heartwarming parts of the campaign is the fact that each year that they unite women to knit and crochet from all over the world, as she said, but to create the handmade scarves for the women that are spending the holidays in one of the domestic shelters in the United
Yes.
States and Canada. And so these scarves is just a special gift. It's a symbol of love, solidarity. Each scarf is, again, I you see, I'm just gonna hug myself. Each scarf, who just don't need a warm hug, especially in the winter times, right? You know what I mean? When
Yes.
it's cold, it's dark, right? And then you're going through this tough
Mm-hmm.
time. So each scarf is a warm hug that reminds the recipient that she counts, she is loved, and that she is not forgotten. Right.
Yes.
So we're grateful for that. So we are inviting everyone that follows us, that is connected to us. We invite you to get involved in this year's project, whether it's by knitting, donating materials, spreading the word, just connecting. If you don't know, but you know an auntie or a sister or a brother that knits, listen, ask them if they can come in. We'll supply, right? We'll get the supplies to
Yes.
you, but let us know. So we can again really continue to do this work. It's a statement that we stand with these families in this
Yes.
fight for a better tomorrow as we move forward. So is Jean Ray, can I bring her up? Is it okay?
Yes. Yes. Bring her
Right.
on up.
Oh, you saying yeah. She ain't telling me yeah. Give me a thumbs up. Right, yeah.
Bring her on up.
She's on mute.
We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
All right. I have to read down here because no. Well, hello, everybody. Of course, we're always excited to partner with Blessed Girls, loving to see Anana with full of energy and
Yes.
vigor, and I love it, and all of the different things you're doing. So we greatly appreciate that. I wanted to share that one of the things that I always like to share with people is that I taught my mom at 80 how to knit. And she did actually knit scarves for us up until about, I guess, the last year that we had her. We worked on a couple of scarves that she still had, and were able to donate those as well. So no age limit, and one of the things I always like to say is if you've got, like, when you're knitting or you're crocheting and you have holes in it or you skip a stitch or whatever, that's life. That's how we are. Keep on going. We are going to donate those scarves too, because the person that receives it is probably a person that needs to know life is not perfect, but you can still live just like you can still wear that scarf. So that's it for me. Thank you all for having us. It was a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on in.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you.
I did put the number. I don't know if everyone can see it. I put the domestic violence hotline number, and there also the hotline. What is that called? Website that you can just hit, and it has a chat in there that you can say what you need or whatever. So I put that there as well. Let me see if I have the Canadian
All
one
right.
as
Is
well.
anyone else? Is it Nilka?
Nilka.
Nilka?
Come on in, Nilka.
Nilka, you want to say hello? I see Rosetta is here.
And Robin. I don't know if Robin wants to come in.
You
Come
have to
on
go
in,
up to
say
the
hello.
regular comments. I think you put them in the private, so I'll just copy it and
Oh, okay.
paste it. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Let me just do some. But Nilka, can I bring you up? She gonna give me a thumbs up because our sister here. She'll just say, "Yeah, come on up," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Y'all
come
be
on
mad at
in,
me."
come on
She
in.
told me, "Yeah, come on up." All right.
Okay. So I don't know if you hear me, but I rarely hear you ladies. It's so low on my end. I don't know how
Oh,
loud I am in your end.
we hear you fine.
Oh, you hear us me
You're
fine?
good.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are so low.
Um,
Um, yeah, so this is what we do.
yeah.
We knit, crochet, we get a few people together, we have some baked goods and stuff like that. That's what I do, and we just enjoy conversation and sometimes some of them just talk about them going through something,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's a good thing. And the place that I mail my scarves to in Connecticut, they wrote to us that they are the only shelter in the Southernton area for women.
Yeah.
So, and they were very blessed and pleased that they got this. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing, and it's a fun thing.
Yes.
Amen. I
Yeah,
saw
and
you
it's a
knitting
way of
away.
fellowshipping with other women and reaching out to other
Mhm.
women who may be going through some domestic violence. Domestic violence. Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
I
you.
saw you
No
knitting in the
problem.
background, so I know you do it. You, I saw you knitting in the
Oh,
background.
you
So
saw
you
me?
always did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I can't even. Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's
Doing
gorgeous. Thank you.
something.
Yes, I
Yeah,
see. I
this is the
see.
season. This is
Amen.
the season when we all get to knit. I crochet to crocheting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to knit. Can't get
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah. I tried. Crocheting is about the best I can do. But thank you so much, Nilka, for all that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you for hosting us.
All right, for
Yes.
sure. All right. So
Well,
is one other, is it Churchill? Did she wants to
oh,
say?
Churchill.
Did she
Hello,
answer me?
Churchill.
Did she
I
want
don't
to
know if she
say hi?
wants to come in, but
No, yes.
she has to give you a thumbs up if she wants to come in.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Hey, there
There
you
you are.
go.
It's so
Okay.
good to see you. She's in
Hey,
Virginia.
Okay,
yes, I'm
great,
in
great.
Virginia.
Yes.
Oh, I'm happy to knit. You know, this is I feel like I'm accomplishing something rather than just sitting doing whatever television, you know. I
Mhm.
feel like I feel like I have to be knitting if I'm just sitting down.
Yes.
But no, I've known Jean Ray and Bonnie, and I just, you know, it's a good project. It's
Yes.
not very hard to do. And
Yeah.
if you knit other things, you can always keep what's left over and use it in any of the scarves.
Yes.
So I think it's great. I think it's
Yes.
great.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Churchill has
Thank
been
you.
knitting for us for quite a while, and she is quite the expert. Just so you know, she helps me
Oh no, I'm not.
when I try to make my socks. I have to sit with her to make my socks. And I still have
Awesome.
my socks waiting for you, Churchill. Don't worry.
All right. Well, thanks,
Yeah.
ladies.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
Have
you
a
all
so
good
much
right.
for coming
evening.
on, Churchill. We are
All
so
right.
blessed by you. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm grateful we got to see some of the faces
Yes.
of those that
Is
really,
Robin saying no? She's not
I
coming on.
guess, yeah, she did
Not
come.
going to say hi.
She's
Okay.
no therapist, so I guess not. But
Okay.
thank you for being here, Robin. But just thank you for your awesome team that
Yes.
gets behind this vision to help support, those
Yes.
that need it
Yes,
so
and thank
desperately.
you for partnering with us. You
Yes,
know, that's a blessing. I mean, making sure that we get those boxes out because you have been such a blessing with that. So thank you so much
indeed.
for having your entire team helping us out.
Yeah, you'll be
We appreciate
surprised,
it.
who all
Yes,
pitches in.
yes.
And it's just the little small things that have such a
Hmm.
large impact that we have no
Yes,
idea. So I just
absolutely.
want to encourage those that are, again, that are watching. Okay, if it's not your thing, hello, Pastor Gia. If knitting is
Hi,
not your thing,
Pastor
all
Gia.
right. Okay, they're
Yeah.
supporting, watching from Guyana. Thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
wow.
Indeed,
Hello.
indeed. So you can connect with us on info at Blessed Girls. Leave us a message. Go
Yes.
to blessedgirls.com and connect. Ladies in Waiting Wives,
International wives.
Facebook, International Wives,
Yes.
Facebook. I think it's up at the top. We'll make sure we'll pin it. But please
Okay.
make sure that you connect with us
Yes.
as we continue this campaign for the Winter Project. So thank you
Yes.
again, my dear sister Bonnie, for
Oh, yes.
being here and sharing and helping us kick off obviously the campaign, but just the awareness, the tips, and,
Yes.
talking about it, we see so much. And I feel like even seeing again everything that's going on, this hot topic,
Yes. Yeah.
about Diddy brings up
Mm-hmm.
stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can feel it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so there's so many victims that have
Yes.
survivors, let's say that, right? But
Yes.
just seeing this and witnessing and knowing these things are coming up and coming out, that is
Yes.
stirring up stuff. And so it's so important
Yes.
for us
Yes.
to keep our foot on the enemy's neck
Yes. Yes.
and talk
Yes.
about these things, right? And
Yes.
address these things and
That's
bring them
right.
out,
Bring it out.
so that we can
Yes.
be healed, delivered, set free, but live the life
Yes.
that God intended for us, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we have purpose, right?
Amen. Anything you want to
Amen.
say in closing?
In closing, I just want to say, thank you for hosting us, because we're so thankful for that. But also, now that, like you said, the Diddy thing is out and we're seeing it, on a national scale, just remember that your sisters and brothers is around you. Normal people are also going through these things and need our help, need us to be aware, need us to be able to reach out, say a little something here, something there, and just be ready. Just be ready to be there for someone if you see some situation happening. Be ye also ready. Just be ready.
That's
All
right.
right.
That's it. Thank you
Yes.
so much, my dear sister. I appreciate you for
Yes,
sure.
I
And we'll
appreciate
be
you.
ripping and running and dropping and doing what we do to make sure we get these scarves in time for the holidays,
Yes,
to the
absolutely.
shelters. But blessings to you. All right.
Okay. All right.
All
Love
right.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Love
Mwah.
you.
Take care.
Mwah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all those watching from around the world, thank you. I hear for Guyana stepping in and watching us tonight. So we're just so grateful again. Every scarf that is knitted is a statement that we stand with the survivors, right? And their fight for a better tomorrow. So as we embark, we ask you to join us, right? And join us. You see how important the mission is, and we want you to help us make a difference. So sign up, go to our website, inbox me, whatever it is, to reach out to let us know how you can partner. If you want to even to, get a group, if you have knitters, you have people in your congregation, if you want to learn, if you have a group of people that want to learn, Jean Ray has definitely helped us so much with teaching and training our girls and even our board members and some of the parents that learned, but they forgot they hadn't used this skill. So we want you to participate in this annual winter project by knitting or donating, and spread the word. Share this campaign on your social media, talk to your friends, and help us to educate. Remember, awareness and education are powerful for change. And together, we can reduce the prevalence of domestic violence and human trafficking as we ensure that no one suffers in silence. I thank you for your support today, and let's make 2024 a year of action, empowerment, and lasting change. My name is Dr. Anana, and as always, be bold, be you, and be blessed, girl. We love you. Have a good night.